Oh, it's just you guys. I never know when you guys are going to be stopping by for these things, but I guess we'll do it right now. I just woke up, but anyways, I've been doing pretty good this week mental health-wise. No thanks to Dalvin Cook. I don't think he's ever going to score a TD for the rest of his career. I think it's got to do with this sweet hoodie that I got, though. Somebody dropped this off to me last week, and the warden was trying to keep it for himself, but luckily I got a little pull with the guards in this joint. So if you're trying to get one of these, leave a comment below. Hit us up with an email. We'll be sure to get one in your hands. But if you're just here for the knowledge that we drop, then this is what we got for you today on the Degenerate Gambling Life. And I'll see you later, alligator.
All right, everyone, here we go. It's Thanksgiving week, so we got a lot of football this week. Let's jump into what we got right. First, Jacob telling you to add Devin Singletary. If you have not and he's still available, definitely add him. He looks to be one of those running backs that can help carry you on that home stretch and hopefully help win you a championship. Next, Jacob told you to pick up Trey McBride. With all the injuries to tight end, if he's still out there, he's a guy that can definitely help you. I know he didn't have the best week this past week, but definitely add him if you can and keep playing him because good things will keep coming. And finally, Jacob Tony dropped Will Levis. I know he's flashed a little bit here or there, but it looks like just that Titans team is crumbling. So please, just for your fantasy team, he's probably best being out there on the waiver wire. Now, let's jump into a few things we got wrong. First, I'm sorry, guys. All the defenses I said to stream. It seemed like the other side did so much better than the side I told you to pick. None of them were absolutely terrible where they gave you negative points, but it is one of those things where they didn't help you too much. So I apologize. Hopefully this week we do a little bit better. I know the fancy basketball players have been helping, so we'll talk about that later. And next, Jacob got wrong saying pick up Keaton Mitchell. I myself picked him up. I plugged him in. Even the Ravens that week that he was supposed to get a little extra usage. So that's one of those things that sometimes there's smoke. And, I think he might just have one of those limited roles where they let him pop off. So if he doesn't get that big run, it's going to hurt you. So unless you're in desperation mode, you're probably better off leaving Keaton Mitchell on your bench. So those are the things that we got right and wrong for you this past week.
Want that plastic working come Miller time?
I can foresee a lot of possible outcomes to this thing, and not a single one of them involves Miller time.
PMA. Positive mental attitude.
Welcome to Miller Time. I'm Kevin Miller with the Degenerate Gambling Life, and on this week's episode, I'm going to explain to you guys how to successfully manage your teams throughout the rest of the season. Whether you're eliminated from the playoffs, trying to get in, or trying to secure that bye, I will go over with you guys my tips on how to play the hand that you are currently being dealt. First, if you're eliminated from the playoff contention, you should still set your best lineup. If you can't fill your lineup, you need to be making pickups. Do not start an incomplete lineup. Do not start injured players or guys that are on bye weeks. Don't be the league mate that starts up controversy down the stretch, especially if you're eliminated from the playoffs. You should be setting your lineup, a complete lineup, your best lineup, and not causing any problems. Next, if you're trying to make the playoffs, you need to be playing the waiver wire aggressively. There's a couple of guys out there this week that could be league winners. Go get them. Jacob will go over who those guys are. I'd also be starting my best players if I'm trying to make the playoffs. Now is not the time to make those risky plays like Gabriel Davis or a couple of other guys. Just play your best guys and hope for the best. And finally, if you have a chance of getting the bye, which means you probably need to get the number 1 or 2 seed in your league, I'd be doing whatever I can to try to increase my odds of getting that bye. Having the bye is the most valuable thing you can get in fantasy football. You're just one win away from being in the finals, which is usually a good prize depending on your league. I'd be doing whatever I can to win, including playing Calvin Ridley. Just do it and thank me later. That's what champs are made of.
10. 10 ought to do it, don't you think? You think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
What's up, guys? My name is Jacob Listowski with the Degenerate Gambling Life, and these are my top waiver wire pickups for Week 12. At QB, Jordan Love is a decent option who can serve as a QB2 for you going forward. He's averaging almost 20 fantasy points per game in his last 2 contests, and there are definitely worse options out there on the waiver wire. If you're very desperate, Gardner Minshew has a very nice matchup coming out of a bye this week against Tampa Bay. Minshew is a gunslinger who has a very low floor but also a very high ceiling. If you need a big game but don't have many options, Minshew might be your guy. At running back, Zach Charbonnet is the guy that you're going to want to scoop up. Kenneth Walker is likely going to be out for some time with a non-contact injury. In that case, Charbonnet is set to carry the workload for the Seahawks. He looks like he could be especially valuable in PPR formats, and he caught all 6 of his targets this week. If A.J. Dillon is available in your league, you might want to stash him away, as he could be a solid flex option going forward if Aaron Jones misses time. He's not the greatest back, but he's definitely serviceable and has upside if he gets more volume. Ty Chandler continues to look like the best back in Minnesota, and is definitely a player you want to pick up if he's available in your league. He averaged over 7 yards per carry in Week 11, and he showed some ability as a receiver as well. At wide receiver, Jaden Reed is a guy you have to pick up if he's available. He's had back-to-back games over 15 fantasy points, and he's showing that he's a versatile player that the Packers want to get involved in their offense. Odell Beckham Jr. has had 3 double-digit games in a row and seems to be hitting his stride again right as the playoffs are approaching. He's seen 16 targets over his last 3 games, and I would definitely stash him away and see if he can be a league winner in the playoffs. Josh Downs had another week to get healthy and is a guy I would look to pick up if he's available in your league and at least stash him away, but he's actually a good streaming option this week at the flex position if you need somebody. Greg Dortch had 8 targets for 6 catches and 76 yards this week, and looks like he may be involved in the Cardinals offense now that Kyler Murray is back. Although Michael Wilson did miss this game, so I wouldn't rush to start Dortch, but you could definitely stash him away in PPR leagues. At tight end, Isaiah Likely is the top option available. With Mark Andrews' season-ending injury, he looks poised to step in as a contributor for the Ravens right away, and he will not put up the same numbers as Andrews, but if you're weak at tight end, you definitely have to go get him.
Because I'm a stud. I'm ballsy. I don't take no from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you.
What's your Thanksgiving song?
No. Pass the cranberry sauce. We're having mashed potatoes. Ooh, the turkey looks great.
Len.
Thank you for loving me.
Len.
Thank you for being there.
Oh, God.
Everyone's thanking.
Len.
The whole world's thanking you.
Stop.
Thanking
Len.
us for thanking you.
Len.
Kill the turkey.
Please.
I liked it.
Thank you.
And we here at the Degenerate Gambling Life would like to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. And the player that I am most thankful for this season is Tyreek Hill. You've been absolutely phenomenal, and you've carried me to wins that I would have lost with an average player. Thank you, Tyreek.
All right, guys, I had 2 players I'm very thankful for this fantasy season. First, TJ Hawkinson. If you've been following this channel, you know I hyped him up, and he has come through. He is the tight end number 1 overall, and he's player number 28 overall. Most people are able to get him around the 4th round, so to get the number 1 tight end, and if you're in Dynasty, it looks like he's going to keep holding that spot, so I'm very thankful for TJ Hawkinson. Next, Brian Robinson. I loved him. I even gave you guys some hints on him in sleepers. I saw the usage for the last few games of the last season, and he's come through. He is running back number 4 overall. He is player number 31 overall, and you were able to get him between the 8th, and I've seen him as late as the 11th round, and I just could not understand getting a starting running back that late. So hopefully you scooped him up. I'm very thankful for TJ Hawkinson and Brian Robinson.
This week we are giving thanks, and as a 49er fan and somebody who has this player in 3 out of 4 leagues, Christian McCaffrey, we are giving thanks to you today. It has been so nice to just put a player in, not have to worry about any injuries this year, only have to worry about subbing you out on my bye week, and you just had nothing but production week after week after week. I even thought about playing you on your bye week because I thought, hey, maybe you'd score a touchdown then too. You've just been nailing touchdowns out all year. 9 rushing touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns, 747 rush yards, and 339 receiving yards. It's just incredible. Keep tearing it up. We're rooting for you. God bless Christian McCaffrey.
I am thankful for Brandon Ayuk. He's been extremely consistent. I've been following his development for a few years now, ever since Shanahan had him in the doghouse at the beginning of that season a few years ago. He's really gotten out of it, and he is a dog, let me tell you. He's basically, my player comp for him is Devontae Adams, and I think he's going to continue to develop into a top 10 receiver across the league. And I have a ton of exposure to him this year in best ball, in my dynasty leagues, and a few of my redraft leagues. I'm very thankful for Brandon Ayuk.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Amen. Oh, we're recording. Sorry, guys. Doing a little prayer, hoping the fancy gods will help me do better for you guys with streaming defenses this week. So, here we go. The defenses I got for you. The Steelers versus the Bengals. The Bengals are without Joe Burrow, so that's a defense that's already been good. If they're available, you definitely want to scoop them up to beat up on those poor Bengals. Number 2. The Saints versus the Falcons. The Saints defense has been pretty good, so I think against a very weak Atlanta team, look at scooping them up. Number 3, the Chiefs versus the Raiders. The Chiefs defense has been very sneaky all season. They've almost been a team that you could play against anyone, so look at grabbing the Chiefs defense if you're needing that. And number 4, your desperation pick, Vikings versus the Bears. I'm going with the Vikings. They've been a pretty good defense, and the Bears, it's the Bears. So those are your streaming fancy defenses. Next, let's go ahead and pivot to fantasy basketball. The first player I have for you guys is Cam Reddish. All right, I know he's been much of a flop these first couple years in the NBA, but that brings me to a good point. Post-type sleepers. They come in, they're supposed to do well, but they don't. Doesn't mean you should always write them off. Right now, Cam Reddish is available in 69% of the leagues. He gives you availability at small forward and power forward. He's averaging 12 points, 2 3-pointers made per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and half a block a game. So those are definitely numbers you can use if you're needing to look to add someone. Next player, I can't believe that he's available in 26% of leagues. This is the last call for Herbert Jones, New Orleans Pelicans. He has been a stud. He's actually a top 40 player right now in fantasy basketball, so you should look and grab him if he's available in one of your leagues. He gives you flexibility with small forward and power forward. He's averaging 14 points, 2 3-pointers made, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3.5 steals. 3.5 steals. That's crazy. And finally, 2 blocks. All those categories just helping you. So again, Herbert Jones, last call if you're needing someone for fantasy basketball. Run out there and scoop them up.
I didn't think I'd ever need to tell you this, but I would be a bad parent if I didn't. Soccer was invented by European ladies to keep them busy while their husbands did the cooking.
Why do you have to hate what you don't understand?
I don't hate you, Bobby.
I meant soccer.
Oh, yeah, I hate soccer, yes.
This is the Degenerate Gambling Life's Added Minutes, and I am Jordan Tennis. We had European qualifying over this past week, and it is all but finished at the time of this recording. We have 17 out of 24 nations automatically qualified. Those nations are Belgium, France, Portugal, Spain, Scotland, Turkey, Austria, England, Hungary, Slovakia, Albania, Denmark, Netherlands, Romania, Switzerland, and Serbia, and of course the hosts, Germany. There are still 4 more automatic qualifying spots and 3 spots available via a playoff path. And the 4 automatic bids are probably going to be filled by the time this video premieres, but the teams vying for those 4 spots are Italy, Ukraine, Croatia, Wales, Czechia, Moldova, Kazakhstan, and Slovenia. Now, some of those nations will automatically qualify, some will drop to the playoff path, and some will drop out completely. So, with that, the other nations that are already qualified for the playoff pass are Georgia, 2004 winners Greece, Poland, Azerbaijan, Estonia, Finland, Israel, Luxembourg, Iceland, and last but not least, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I know that's quite a lot of information to take in, but December 2nd is the drawing for the group stages, and we will be back to preview all of the groups heading into next summer's tournament in Germany. Sticking with European qualification real quick, we saw Belgium frontman Romelu Lukaku score 4 goals in 20 minutes, bringing his goal tally during qualification to 14 and breaking the European record previously jointly held with 13 goals by David Healy of Northern Ireland and Robert Lewandowski of Poland. And to wrap up with some club news coming out of the international break, Everton were handed 10-point deduction for breaching Premier League profitability and sustainability rules during the 2021 and 22 season. The immediate points deduction was imposed by an independent commission, which sees Everton drop from 14th to 19th, only above Burnley in the standings. The breach of the PSR remains in dispute, and Everton are appealing the decision, stating the club does not recognize the findings, that it failed to act with the utmost good faith, and it does not understand this to have been an allegation made by the Premier League during the course of proceedings, but the harshness and the severity of the sanction imposed by the Commission are neither fair nor a reasonable reflection of the evidence submitted. The appeal is going to take some time, and we'll keep you updated on that process, but we hope you guys enjoyed international football during this club break, and don't worry, club football is coming back next week. Hope you guys have a good one.
This is a poker hand I played at 1-2 stakes at Shuffle 512 in Austin, Texas. In this hand, 4 players limp, and I'm in the small blind with Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Spades, and I raised to $20. The big blind and MP call, and we're off to a flop with just over $60 in the pot. The Flop comes 2-3-4 with 2 diamonds, and I bet $40, looking to charge my opponents over pairs and random hands with a 5 in it, like 5-4, 5-3, 5-7, and even king 5 suited they'll probably have in this scenario. The big blind folds and the MP calls, so the pot is about 150 going to the turn. The turn comes the king of diamonds, which is not my favorite card in the deck to see, so I check and my opponent bets 75. I think for a bit and decide that it's unlikely that he'll have many flushes here since he limped in pre-flop. He's more likely to have offsuit hands, so I decide that I have to call, but I'm not loving the situation. I'm getting a good price, so I have the equity to call since I have the flush draw as well. The river comes the jack of spades, and I check, and the MP goes all in for 130, and the pot is about 300 at this point, so I decide I'm probably beat. And even though I'm getting good odds in this spot, I just don't think I'm going to be winning very often, so I decide to fold. And the villain shows 4-3 offsuit for flop 2 pair that went for max value. I lose this one, but I save money on the river. Nice hand to my opponent.
Tonight, I'll win at cards tonight. My flushes will be straight tonight.
Lenny's gonna dominate tonight.
Call's gonna be a little late tonight.
Tonight, I'll cheat them all tonight. When they're drunk, they don't play cards quite right.
Okay guys, quick poker tip. We're going to talk about tilt. We all experience it, even the best players like Phil Ivey. So, a few things to do. First, feel yourself tilting, get up, walk around. I recommend for at least 10 minutes. I try to walk around closer to 30. You want to let a couple of orbits go around, just get your head right. Even after that, if you're still feeling bad, call a friend, someone that understands poker. You can talk the hand out, see if you played it right. Poker therapy is a real thing, and it's a great thing. Having someone to talk to really can help you understand. And lastly, I cannot stress this enough. If you get back to the table and you still feel yourself tilting, don't keep playing. You will lose money most likely. You need to get up, call it a day, and live to fight another day. So those are a couple of tips for whenever you are tilting. Now, let's talk about some trips we got going on. We will be at WinStar this coming Friday, November 24th around noon. Come up, say hi. We'll definitely be there. Have some merch to give away. And a trip that we've been talking about, the full Degenerate team, we will be in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. We have a meetup game that Thursday, February 8th at 6 p.m. at Mandolin Bay. Come up, say hi. We'll definitely have some hoodies and merch. We'll talk some games and things that we like. And you can come play poker with us all weekend. We'll be in Vegas from February 8th to the 12th. So look forward to seeing you guys then.